Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Glamour. I'm your host Key Michel and welcome back to the show. So what is going on, everyone? What is going on? I'm very happy to be back here with you all for another episode. And I also hope that everyone has been having a great day thus far, as well as a great start to the month of May. We are indeed in the fifth month of the year, which is kind of crazy, right? The year is definitely moving on by. But I hope you all are excited for this month. I hope you all are excited to dive into better weather if you live in an area where, you gotta wait to the middle of spring or the summertime for the weather to get better. And I also hope that you all are excited for the summertime as well. If you didn't tune into the episode that I did prior to this, I was talking all about creating your spring and summer style wish list and why it's definitely important to have multiple style aesthetics. So if you didn't tune in, I definitely recommend that you tune into that episode after this one. But this week, you all, we are going to be diving into lifestyle content this week. For anybody that is new to the show, 1 week we dive in and we discuss fashion. The next week we dive in and we discuss lifestyle. And sometimes we combine the two. But this week, we're going to be diving in and we're going to be talking about lifestyle. And this is actually something that came to me very recently, actually, because it just recently happened. And I said, you know what? This is something that I have to talk about. I feel like this is something that people can really relate to. And I know I'm not the only one that experienced this. So I said, you know what? This is something to discuss on the show. And the topic for today is people pleasing. People pleasing, you all. People pleasing. Now, I realized when I was 26 years old, so that was 4 years ago, when I was 26 years old, I realized that I had some people pleasing traits. They weren't severe traits, but they were still some traits, and that's enough, right? And I realized that about myself, and I said, you know what, this is something that I definitely have to work on. I definitely have to work on this. But when I recently turned 30 years old a couple of months ago is when I said, oh, no. This must end. This must end now. This must end. And I was doing amazing. I really was doing amazing and I was feeling so good about it. But recently something happened where I realized, although you may be doing a great job at this, you still got to keep going. And what recently happened was that, one of my friends invited me out. And he really wanted to go out to this club in Boston. And, I just really wasn't feeling it. I just really wasn't digging it. Not that I don't like to party. I still like to have a nice time. But I just wasn't feeling this particular club. It's a hit or miss. And I just wasn't feeling it. Right? But I knew intuitively that he really wanted to go. I just knew it. Even when he was saying, I think it would be nice for us to go out. We should go out. I think it would be nice, Key. But if you don't want to go, it's okay. But I think it would be nice. I think we would have a nice time, And I just felt this pressure, this unnecessary pressure, right? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking, well, if you want to go, and I guess we can go. But I really did not want to go at all. I really didn't want to go. I really did not want to go. I really didn't. And we're going back and forth. And he's like, are you sure you want to go? You really don't seem like you want to go. And I'm like, well, if you want to go, I'll go for you. Listen to that. I'll go for you. If you want to go, I'll go if you want to go, but I really don't feel like, going. I don't really just feel like going to that club today, right? And I just hear this voice within, you're people pleasing. You're people pleasing. What are you doing? You're people pleasing. And once I heard that voice, you all, say that to me within. I said, "Oh, actually, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And he said, so you made your decision? You really don't want to go?" I said, "Yeah, I made my decision. I don't want to go." And he said, "All right, I understand. You can tell he still really did want to go, but he's a friend and he completely was receptive to it." And at first I was feeling a little bad, like, man, like I can tell he really wants to go out. But after a while, I was really thinking, but why are you engaging in this people-pleasing ego again? You didn't want to go. You didn't want to go. What is so bad about saying no? What is so bad about saying no? Mind you, I'm someone that can say no. But what I realize is sometimes when I do say no, the reaction that you get from others isn't always a pleasant one. And it's not like you're saying no in a rude way. A lot of people in life don't like to hear the word no. A lot of people in life don't like to hear the truth. And I think this is what causes people that have this people-pleasing ego to engage in it, right? It's really about other people's feelings, not really yours. You want to make everybody feel good. You want everybody to feel all right. You want to make people feel comfortable, right? You want people to feel comfortable, which I think is a beautiful thing, to be honest. But what about you? What about you? And so, I think that it just came to me, and I'm glad that intuitive nudge came to me about you're people pleasing again. What are you doing? That's what made me quickly change it all around and say, you know what, actually, whoa. I don't want to go. I didn't even realize at first I was people pleasing. But I was. I did not want to go to that event. I did not want to go. But I knew he wanted to go. And instead of saying, you know what, actually, man, I really just don't want to go at all. I'm like, well, I'm kind of, well, I really don't want to go. But if you want to go, I'll go. If you want to go, I'll go for you. And it's like, no, do what you want to do for you. Do what you want to do for you. And I will admit, you all, that, yeah, after we got off the phone, I kind of was like, oh, I feel a little bad. But I felt really good right after that. And I knew I made the best decision. I made the best decision. So why do we people please? Why do people do this? There's several different reasons. And I actually stated a few of them in my brief story that I just stated there. One of the reasons that I stated is a lot of people do not like to hear the word no. They don't like to hear the word no. And a lot of us know that, right? And because we know that, it can make a lot of us like, I don't know if I can say no to this person. I don't want to hurt their feelings. It's not that you're scared to say no. It's all about you not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings. Or you wanting this person to feel comfortable. It's not even about you. It's about the other person. Right? And I know in my own experience in life, sometimes when I have said no, some people have been completely receptive to it. But there are times where I have said no and people have been like, what? No, you've said no? And I'm like, yeah, I said no. And then people want the explanation of why you said no, and you don't need an explanation. You don't need an explanation at all. No is an answer. No. So that's one of the reasons people engage in people-pleasing behavior. A second reason I also stated, you want people to feel comfortable. You want people to feel good, especially if you are an empath. I am an empath. I'm very much an empath. I really am. And I love for people to feel good. I love to see people feel happy. I really do. But what about you? What about you, right? I wouldn't have felt happy if I went to that club. I wouldn't have been a negative Nancy because that isn't my vibe, but I wouldn't have felt happy, right? My friend would have felt comfortable. He would have had a nice time, right? But I would not have felt happy. So that's another reason why people engage in people-pleasing behavior. To make other people comfortable, you know? To make other people feel good. To make other people feel happy, which is all great things, but what about you? What about you? So that's another reason. A third reason can be that this is actually could be hereditary. And what I mean by that is like this is something that you have seen maybe people in your family do. People in your own family engage in this behavior, this people-pleasing ego, right? And it's just something that you subconsciously have latched onto. Not even realizing, wait, I've seen other people in my family do this, and I'm starting to latch onto this subconsciously. And now there are so many other reasons. I even was online researching this. And I'm like, you know what? Why is this going on? And I was seeing reasons that I wouldn't say are the reasons I engage in it, but I'm sure people can relate. One of the reasons was social anxiety. You know, some people feel like they have to be a people pleaser due to their social anxiety. Another reason was acceptance, wanting social acceptance or wanting people to like them. But, you know, I just feel like when you say no and you put your foot down and you stop with the people-pleasing ego, it feels so good. Because I was doing that so much these past few months, and it felt so good. It felt so good. It really did. It felt so good. But I really care about this friend, right? And it usually happens when we really, really, really care about people. You know, you can engage in this behavior. And I really care about this friend. And I knew he wanted to go out and have a nice time. But I just wasn't feeling that vibe. You know, I really wasn't. And I'm happy that I said no. I'm really, really happy that I said no. I really am. So, for anybody that, you know, feels like they have a people-pleasing ego, it's okay. And why I say it's okay is because you can always work on it, right? And you're also not alone. And I think when we as human beings, we realize we aren't alone when it comes to something, it gives us a sense of tremendous relief. So you're not alone at all. You're not alone at all. But realize that when you do say no, even when it comes to people that you really, really care about and you really love, when you do say no, it's liberating and it feels really good. It feels really good to put yourself first. And if you are an empath like myself, it's okay to put yourself first. It really is okay to put yourself first. You know, whenever we fly, right? And, you know, they talk about if something happens to the plane, you have to put on your mask first before you put on somebody else's. You have to put yourself first. That's essentially what they're saying. You have to put on your mask before you can put on somebody else's mask. You have to put yourself first. You got to put yourself first. And honestly, it feels liberating to do that. It feels so liberating to do that. And so why we talk about lifestyle content is because lifestyle and personal growth, I should say, personal growth and personal style go hand in hand. You gotta love you in order to really love your personal style. You gotta discover who you are in order to really discover your personal style, right? That is why we talk about lifestyle. And, I also want to say to each and every one of you all that tunes into the show every single week that I see you all, I appreciate you all, and I really value you all. I really do. It really means a lot. It really does. It really, really does. And I really hope that the episodes have really been resonating with you all, because that is really the mission with this show, is to put out content that will inspire and empower you all. That is the mission with this show, is to put out content that is going to inspire and empower you all. And I always say, as long as I touch one person's life, I know I did something right. And so when people reach out and they say how an episode really resonated with them, that means a lot. Because as long as I touch one person's life, I'm telling you all, I have done something right. So the moral of this episode is to get rid of the people-pleasing ego, but to realize that you will be a work in progress. That, you'll have moments where you're like, oh wait, I'm doing so well at this, and then maybe it might slip up, right? But you'll be okay. You'll be able to dust yourself off and try right back again. And you'll be proud of yourself. You really will. You will be so proud of yourself. And remember, you aren't alone. This doesn't mean you're a weak link having this people-pleasing ego either, right? That's not what it means. You just got to put yourself first more. No matter how kind, no matter how loving you may be, no matter how compassionate you may be, right? You got to put yourself first. You got to put yourself first. So before I wrap this episode up, I want to leave you all with a couple of announcements. The first announcement is that there are a lot of new articles that are up on the site. There are a lot of new articles. I wrote a lot of articles this week that are up on the site. So please check out the Key to Fashion website and check out all of the latest articles that are up on the site. There are lifestyle topics, there are style tips, resale fashion topics. So there are a lot of topics that I covered this week. So definitely check out the articles on the site. The second announcement, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been subscribing to the YouTube channel thus far. And if you have not been subscribing, or if you haven't subscribed yet, I should say, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will greatly appreciate it. And the third announcement is I will be back on Instagram. I haven't been posting on Instagram for I think I would say 2 weeks now, and it wasn't supposed to be 2 weeks at all. I honestly don't know why. I think this is why I strive to be consistent on that platform, because if I take just a little tiny break, I get used to that, and that's not good. You kind of get just used to being off of that app, I mean, I will admit that Instagram has definitely been changing. I don't know if it's for the best. I find myself on TikTok with the Gen Zs, cracking up. But that's another distraction. I mean, TikTok is like, it would be cool to build a platform there for keto fashion, but it is such a distraction. I be cracking up on. Listen, it will be 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm over here cracking up. TikTok is hilarious. TikTok is hilarious. Definitely a distraction, and that's all I'm gonna say. Definitely a distraction. Okay, definitely a distraction. But I'm gonna come back to Instagram. I definitely gonna come back to the app. Oh, I know what happened. I had deleted. I was recording some videos actually for YouTube. I had deleted the app for space. And because I deleted the app for space and I was trying to like re-download it, but I have to delete more space. That is what happened. I'm like, wait, why wasn't I on it? Yeah, that is what happened. And I mean, that's just how it can be sometimes if you have a whole bunch of pictures and videos on your phone. I mean, my gosh. So I deleted the app for space, and when I try to bring it back and re-download it again, it wasn't downloading because I have to continue to delete more space. I have to delete more videos and pictures. But either way, I'm going to be back, and I'm excited to continue to engage with the community there. I definitely have a great appreciation for the keto fashion community on Instagram as well, and I definitely hope and pray to meet a lot of you all in person as well. And I think just the last announcement is just to once again express my gratitude. I'm definitely grateful that each and every one of you all tune in to the show week by week, and I definitely hope that you all find these episodes really valuable and that you all are getting, great inspiration and empowerment from these episodes as well. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm thinking to myself, do I have any more announcements? Because sometimes I will wrap up an episode and be like, I have an announcement. This is why I actually have to write down these announcements. But I kind of like that the episodes have a lot of authenticity to them. They're just straight off the dome. I like it like that. At the same time, I should write the announcements down. I should write the announcements down. And another thing before I go, we need a jingle. We need a Vintage Glamour jingle. We need a jingle. Some type of I don't know, some catchy song for the beginning of the show. I've been thinking about that for a while. I'm like, I need a nice jingle, something catchy and something that's like, ooh, like, okay, we tuning into Vintage Glamour. We need a jingle. So if anybody has any recommendations, let me know. Because we definitely need a dope jingle. We do. We definitely do. And you know what, you all, with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of the day. And today is actually Mother's Day, so shout out to all the moms out there, and also all the mother figures out there. If you weren't raised by your mom, you were raised by someone else, shout out to that woman. Shout out to all the mother figures out there. All of them, shout out to all of them. And I hope you all have a beautiful day today as well. And with that being said, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Vintage Glamour. And I hope you all have a great one. Bye now.